Welcome to another episode of I Was 8. I'm Larry Fedoruk. It's a bonus season of my personal journal podcast. Hope you enjoy this week's story.
I Was 8, The Lost Episodes. Number 6, Infinity Plus One.
When I was 8, I believed in infinity. 3 reasons. 1, I was 8, thought I'd live forever. 2, I was bored a lot. A lot of things seemed to take forever. And 3, we were Catholic. Infinity, aka forever, was preached to me on a weekly basis, oft times more than that. I remember thinking, oh no, you're trying to explain infinity? This is going to take forever. The existential quandaries related to time and space may not seem like typical concerns for an 8-year-old. But if you go back, we probably spent a lot of time thinking about them. I know I did. Time and space, I remember having a lot of both. That is to say, as I got older, I seemed to have less of either. Time and space become distorted. It's why many memories are unreliable. Do you ever have a chance to see your old room in the house you grew up in, or your old classroom at school? They seem smaller than you remember, don't they? They aren't. You are bigger. Here's a law of physics. Over time, you take up more space. I always get a kick out of people who talk about winters in Canada when they were young. You know, when I was a kid, I remember walking to school, the snow was up to my knees. Not like today. Yeah, well, you were 3 feet tall. You lived in a land of giants. When you were a kid, the cat probably came up to your knees. Yet no one today says, oh, have you noticed the cats are much smaller these days? Not like when I was a kid. No, they don't do that. Just snow. Snow seems to be a thing. You had more space, or so it seemed, but you also had more time. And even if space was limited, time seemed infinite. Of course, there are those who believe that time is finite, space is infinite, or that both have a beginning and an end. Depends what school of philosophy you adhere to. At age 8, I subscribed to Bonanzaism. Let me explain. Bonanzaism is an interesting branch of philosophy with deep roots in the TV show Bonanza. Bonanza was on TV for 1 hour each week, and within that hour, several days, maybe even weeks, could pass. Plus, whatever problems they encountered in the first 30 minutes could be completely resolved in the remaining 30 minutes. Time as a concept was much easier to understand in terms of Bonanzaism. They controlled time. They even had a time machine where they could visit the past in flashbacks. And the whole thing took an hour. Not even an hour. 'Cause they would also pause to share messages of importance from Chevrolet or Rice Krispies. Now with cyanide, Thyman, and riboflavor. Part of this nutritious breakfast. As kids, we applied Bonanzaism to our daily lives, say if we were playing cowboys. Bang, I shot you. I don't want to be shot. Okay, I shot you, but now it's 3 days later, and you're out of the hospital, and we're going to ride to Virginia City. Okay. Yeah, we used Bonanzaism as much as we could to control time. Unfortunately, we were also under the evil, watchful eye of the realists. The giants that ruled our world, i.e. parents, teachers, grown-ups in general. These people only thought they controlled time. They didn't. Time controlled them. And out of frustration, they used it to control us. Don't be late for school. Supper is at 6 o'clock. Church is on Sunday, and so on and so forth. Bonanzaism did not apply, as much as I tried. Wake up, Larry. You'll be late for church. Okay, let's say I already went to church. It's 4 hours later, and I'm in the backyard eating Twizzlers. No, now get moving. Parents, no imagination, am I right? When I was 8, most of the kids also believed in the philosophy of time flies when you're having fun. That's not just something Dad said. He said that. That is actually tried and true. Of course it does. Because when you're having fun, your mind is occupied by the fun thing that you're doing. So you don't have time to think about time. Whereas when you are bored out of your mind, like school, there's nothing to do but concentrate on time. It's 1:15. When will this end? Why is she still talking? I'm so bored. What time is it now? Still 1:15. All of this to say that as a kid I believed space to be finite. Even though I lived in the middle of the prairies and you could see so far, you thought the earth was flat. But yeah, finite. And that time was infinite. To recap, because I was 8, and because most things took forever, and Catholics counted on you to believe in forever, infinity, eternity. So it's not exclusively Catholic, but I believe they are number one in the heaven and hell brand. You know, McDonald's sells the most hamburgers, Toyota the most cars, Catholics sell the most eternal suffering. Well, there's also heaven, but come on, who's getting in there? Not too many people I know. And Catholics don't really sell the blessings of heavenly existence as much as they sell the fear of sulfuric hellfire. Don't be good for goodness sake, because good is good, but because bad is not good. I see. You know, you and me and all this is not forever. But everything you do and every decision you make goes on your permanent record. And when this and me and you and everything's all done, that's when forever kicks in. They check the rewards points on your Catholic loyalty card. Reward points would be canceled at any time by the vendor. And it's heaven or hell. And it's forever. To infinity. Wow. But wait, what if I go to hell and then I'm really good? Can I get out? No. Judge's decision is final. Can I go to the Supreme Court? That is the Supreme Court. As a matter of fact, it's the supremest. Nothing is supremier. Yeah, sure sounds like it. Can you cut me some slack? 'Cause I'm 8? No, I don't think so. Eternity exists. So act accordingly. Holy crap. You've heard the expression, we'll put the fear of God into that boy? Well, that's what they did. God was like the town bully. You only pretended to like him. But really, you were nice to him because you were scared to death. At least with the town bully, well, you could do your best to avoid him. Stay out of his sight or sphere in general, but not God. No, God was everywhere. Yeah, the giants threw that part in so that you wouldn't try anything behind their back. So as I rationalized, Catholicism and Bonanzaism didn't mix. Some things take forever, including life, which, though seemingly infinite, would one day end. And that's when eternity cuts in, good or bad. That's like infinity plus 1. In a previous episode of this podcast called Confession, I believe I explained that concept. Catholics realized long ago that not even the most pious among them could live by their ridiculously high standards of goodness. Not only would this negatively affect membership, but almost no one had a hope in hell of getting to heaven. So, all you had to do was say sorry, basically. Do a little penance, and off you go. But remember, it's not the keys to the pearly gates. It's just like a get-out-of-jail-free card, temporary. All it means is you get to roll the dice and go around the board again. Good luck with that. At 8, I was obsessed with infinity. I believed, but it seemed impossible. How? How could things go on forever? What happens there? Wouldn't you get bored? Yes. That's how it works. When you get bored, stuff takes forever. Eternity is boredom, even in heaven. Boredom plus 1. Yeah, but what about that thing that Dad says when he's leaving a party? Well, all good things must come to an end. Hell is bad. Heaven is good. Does it end? Well, not according to Catholicism. So Dad is wrong? Or is he just lying? I don't know. Big questions. Bonanzaism, that has an end. I tried to talk to my friends about it. Many were Catholic, most were Christian. Almost all were aware of the concepts of heaven and hell and the idea of eternity, infinity, foreverness. Hey, idiot friend Philip, do you ever think about forever? Forever what? You know, like forever. You mean like always? Yeah, always. Sometimes. You think about always sometimes? Yeah, not always. 'Cause lately, I always think about always. Well, what if occasionally you thought about every once in a while? Then that would mean that sometimes you didn't think about always. Oh man, Philip was no help. I didn't know where to turn. I could ask my parents, hey Dad, can we talk about infinity? Not now, there's no time. Poor Dad had no time. I had nothing but. I could ask Mom, but I already knew the answer. Be good, go to heaven. Hey, that's not the question. The question is, how does infinity work? I could ask our priest. He was a good guy, but, he already got me for 2 hours a week. He wasn't getting any more. I mean, Bonanzaism, that was 1 hour a week. And if I knew how to get a hold of Ben Cartwright, Pa, that's what his kids called him, Pa, I would. Hey, Pa Cartwright, how does infinity work? No, I was on my own on this one. When things got boring and took forever, I always thought, boy, Janie's birthday party is so boring. Imagine Janie's birthday party times infinity and then infinity plus 1. Still didn't add up. Are you having a nice time, Larry? Yes, Mrs. Markowski. But all good things must come to an end. Bye. Eventually, my friends just stopped asking me to go places or do things. Hey, Larry, you want to come out and play baseball? Sure, but first, can we discuss eternal suffering? Hey, Larry, a bunch of us are biking to the lake to go swimming. Okay, but first answer me this. If you had to spend eternity riding your bike, how far do you think you'd get? Like, would you get to Mars? Larry, you want to go out and play cowboys? No, thanks. I've recently rejected Bonanzaism because their concepts of time don't align with the church. And so it went, hour after hour, day after day, sunrise, sunset. Time ticked away, and I worried about infinity. Now you're probably saying, Larry, you must have stopped thinking about it eventually. Well, not really. I mean, kind of. All that really happened over the years was that occasionally I would think about every once in a while. So that only sometimes I thought about always. You see, my idiot friend Philip was actually right. It's funny because for an idiot, he really had his moments. Brief moments. They didn't last forever.
Thanks for listening to I Was 8, a weekly podcast voiced, written, and produced by Larry Fedoruk. This podcast is available on most major platforms, or check out the I Was 8 YouTube channel. Larry Fedoruk, that's Fedoruk, can be reached at larryfedoruk37@gmail.com.
Man, woman, birth, death, infinity.